What's up, y'all? Brandon B doing an album review for Bored Stiff's The Balancing Act album. This album is a masterpiece, and it's really incredible. It's the first release that they've had since 2021 with When Worst Comes to Shove, and it's been 30 plus years since their first album, Explainin', dropped. So, think about that. I think this is like their seventh album, maybe eighth if you count The Peoples. And then, of course, Timeless is an EP as well. And, if you're that deep, not only in members, but in releases and in projects, not even counting solo projects from all the other members, but we're talking 30 years later, and a group such as Bored Stiff puts out a masterpiece. That's really saying something. And the concept of the balancing act is this. It's really, how do you keep yourself sane? And how do you keep yourself from going crazy with all of the negative shit that's going on in the world right now, right? From the rise of fascism to the rise of course, racism, gentrification in San Francisco and other cities as well, wealth inequality, right? Everything going on with Palestine. How do you balance the studio and streets as well, right? How do you balance getting a positive message across, but yet still have the music with an edge or still be digestible? Right? How do you balance that, right? How do you balance all the haters and all the critics, right? These are themes that this album shows you how to deal with that, right? It truly, really is a balancing act when a group like The Stiff, that has dealt with loss, they've dealt with death, how do you deal with that, right? How do you stay balanced, right? Even how do you stay balanced or stay together as a group for so long? That's a challenge in itself as well, right? So this album, The Balancing Act, is like a concept album, and it shows you how they're doing that. So it kicks off with first track, Koala Intro. This is an intro from this guy in Japan, Junon Koala. He's basically saying how the Stiff's music has impacted him and changed his life. And that right there is the rub, right? And this is a theme that you hear throughout this album. How can a group such as Bored Stiff have this worldwide reach and have music that impacts people and can change their lives? How can a group, have this type of reach and impact, still be relatively unknown, right? It's kind of ridiculous. So that's the rub, right? And The Stiff kind of talks a lot about that as well. I think White Mike says they treated us like crabs in a Pier 39 bucket. Let's break it down. So the first track is Gone for a While. This is just a statement. You got Quans at the chorus. They're cutting him up on some of his vocals. The beat is by Bean One. It features Agent Strychnine. You got Equipto setting the bar on this album. I like when Agent Strychnine says, "Water rules everything around me. No life jackets, only swimming or drowning," which is the truth. I remember when I first moved to San Francisco, somebody told me, "Hey, great city, but you're either gonna swim or you're gonna drown." And it's so true. And P. Whaley has a sick verse on this one as well. After that, it goes into Keep Giving, which is produced by Exile. It features Blue and Exile. And when you're The Stiff, and also it has Mike Marshall on the chorus as well. If you're The Stiff, you're able to pull your weight around a little bit and get Blue and Exile on your album. These guys Blue and Exile have a classic hip hop album. And this is just a really dope, song about continuing to do what you love and continuing to give music despite, the adversities over time, right? And it's more of a gentle song. But again, the Stiff has always been true to their sound, right? And every group should have their own sound, their own signature feel, right? The BS feel, right? They stick to that. And you can tell with all the beats on this album, it's straight continuity. All the beats there's nothing disjointed. Like this sounds like a straight up album, right? There's no disjointing. All the beats are very in line with the concept of the album. And I like this one just because it's like, it even just ties back to what Mint said on Peaceful Rotation, when he says, from the gentle side that don't normally show. This song's from the gentle side that don't normally show. And as a grown man that, has an edge, that knows crazy stuff, that understands the streets, you should have that balance, right? To understand also the message and getting a positive message across. So I like the Keep Giving song kind of speaks to that balance, right? Then it moves into New Day, which I think is my favorite song. And all these, there's not one weak link on this album. Every single song is dope. I've got a few favorites, but I think if I had to really dial it down to one, it'd be super hard, but I'd give it to New Day, just barely. This should be their next single. I mean, I can see it. This song is, it gets me pumped, dude. It gets me pumped. There's so much to say about A New Day. You got Pep Love on here with his signature rolling flow. You got Equipto on here. You got P-Way on here as well. It's produced by Oteo Dub. It's just dope, dude. I love New Day. I love the horns. Love everything about it. Just a pumped ass song. Then it goes into Please Believe, which is another just banger, just out of the box. You got Z-Man just ripping it. Z-Man's always been like my North Star in terms of, yep, that's how you rap. That's how you're supposed to be in the pocket. That's how you're supposed to deliver. Z is a true artist, and he is incredible, not only from a lyrical perspective, but also from a painting and drawing perspective as well. The guy is amazingly incredible. But Please Believe is just a banger, just straight up. There's a couple things I like about Please Believe. It's produced by TD Camp. The beat is incredible. It's pumped, dude. I like Equipto's verse when he's kind of talking about the exposure that he had to jazz music and his father's record collection as a youngster, and just really not appreciating it or just knowing enough to like really peep it out, and then he realizes later on how important jazz is, right? And I'm just kind of paraphrasing that verse, but it's so dope. Another thing about this song that I really like is it has my favorite line from this album, which is when White Mike says, we be following them ancient trails. And that's what they're doing, right? Because think about it. The Stiff, they know hip hop. They grew up around hip hop. They appreciate the culture of hip hop. And they're not going to deviate from that. They're not going to deviate from their sound, right? And that's ancient. How many groups are really following that now? I mean, I don't know. I just want the youngsters to really just do their research and just have respect for the old school, and that's what the Stiff has done. And that's the ancient trails. It's like the path like least followed, So I like when he says we be traveling them ancient trails. That's really dope. And then he follows it up with I don't give a fuck about your beats for sale. Which it gives me this funny ass visualization of like, imagine some kid who doesn't know White Mike, doesn't have any context of the Stiff, doesn't even know who they are, trying to slang some beats to White Mike, like some straight up like goofy trap beats. Like, hey man, you should rap over this. You should rap over this, trying to hustle some beats. Like White Mike don't give a shit about that. So that shit's tight, man. I love Please Believe. Then it goes into Going Crazy, which is the centerpiece of the album. I think all the songs kind of stem from Going Crazy. And it is so visual. I can see why it was the first single. All the lyrics are super visual, and everybody brings it. I really like what P. Way is saying, especially around like all that bullshit with false flags. And Quipto talks about, fools staging tragedies to go viral. I mean, all that shit is super true. And we have to be aware and be vigilant. This is the type of message that people need to hear, right? I also like when Quip is talking about digging through the crates and warring with executives. There's a lot to that song. It's dope. It's produced by Unjust. The drums are dope on that. That whole song is just incredible. It's the centerpiece of the album. It really kind of like explains what the balancing act really is. And then after that, it goes into Through So Much, which is produced by TD Camp. The beat is incredible. It caught my ear immediately as like, oh shit, this is my favorite beat so far. It has this little organ sample, like a 60s organ sample. Samples Who's Gonna Take the Weight from Gangstar. It features Seth the Gaffla. And what the Stiff is doing is just taking it back, rapping with their contemporaries, connecting the dots between the studio and the streets, right? There's a lot on this song that I really like. I love when Equipto starts it out and he says, like, it's a shame that we always got to speak on it. Because motherfuckers, like I'm saying, that's the rub. Like, how can a group have so much reach worldwide, change people's lives, impact people's lives, but yet still don't get the credibility, don't get the exposure? People don't know about it, man. Like, there's this one dude I play basketball with. This dude knows a lot about, he must have been a DJ or something, because he knows a lot about hip hop, he knows all about that shit, Def Jux. He'll get into conversations about that, or Smith and Wesson and Black Moon, and he'll get all into that. Oh, he even knows Hobo Junction, right? This dude knows who Hobo Junction is. But dude, ask about the Stiff, you never heard of him. So it's a shame, man. It is a damn shame that we always got to speak on it. That's for sure. What else do I like from this song? I like when White Mike says, he says, these podcasters, I deal with them bluntly. Make sure these squares never feel comfy. I like that one. That's dope. And I like when Stiff and Mint, Mint comes out ripping on all of his verses on this album. He rips it on Please Believe. He rips it on Through So Much. And again, he's coming out and he just says it. He says, we just doing what we always did, the best of what we got since kids. So they're staying true to the BS feel. When they put together this album, they know their sound. They know how to give their message to the audience, right? So there's just so much about Through So Much that I love. After that, it goes into R.I.P. Interlude. It's produced by Mixtravic. And, they're taking it back to Cafe Macondo on this album. You listen to all the beats, they're all curated perfectly across all these producers, and they're really staying true to the BS feel. Cafe Macondo comes to mind. But this interlude is, where, the Stiff is basically recognizing their contemporaries who have fallen, right? Chino Excel, Zumbi, Peace from Freestyle Fellowship. It really is like a moment of silence for them, and much needed as well. And it's only right that it moves into With You after that, which is the most powerful song on the album. It's produced by TD Camp. I love it. I get chills when I listen to it. It's super heartfelt about their brother Quans. They've got Quan sampled at the chorus, so they're surfacing the memory of Quans. The horns on this song are just super incredible. TD Camp is I just love his production. He really did this song justice. I just love it, man. You'll shed a cheer, man. You get a verse from Ike Plump on this one. which I love. You get a verse from B.I. on this one as well. Man, it's a beautiful tribute to their brother Quans. After that, it moves into Work Close. Features Spank Pops with his signature flow. Gonna get fried like some katsu. Then you got Kelly Oso on the chorus. The chorus is pretty infectious. I love it. Like my son has heard a few of these songs, and like the first song I caught him involuntarily kind of repeating was the chorus from We're Close. And it's, dude, I just like We're Close, dude. It's just sick. I like people, because when I think of We're Close, I think of Spank Pops. And when I think of the Peoples, I think of Spank Pops. I think of FDOG. The beginning of the song has a sample from FDOG speaking. Spank Pop's verse talks about FDOG as well. And RIP to FDOG, our brother, dude. He's a member of the Stiff. And so they surface the memories of FDOG throughout this album as well. After We're Close, it goes into Families. Features Little Flower Nasty on the chorus. She rips it. It's super dope. This song's like a movie as well. It's super visual. You got Little Sean leading it off, really just focusing on the love, you know. Equipto surfaces memories of FDOG on his verse. Oteo Dub makes the beat. Oteo's contribution on this album is just incredible. His beats are sick on this. I like how on Families they also sample audio or Milk D, Audio 2, from I Get the Papers. Nobody knows about that. That's what I'm saying. The Stiff knows about hip hop. And this song is, they're deep, dude. They've got, I mean, these fools are deep. They've got family. They got loved ones, you know, and it's all about just recognizing, you know, and spending much time as you possibly can with your loved ones. I like when White Mike says, I wish I would have done more fishing with Fred. You know, that's it right there, man, for real. I remember one time Fred picked me up in this white van. He had a bunch of fishing gear in the back. And I didn't know that he was, you know, that he was into fishing. I was like, do you fish? He's like, yeah, man, I just got back from fishing. And he went alone. He went fishing alone. So yeah, man, I feel White Mike on that one, dude, for sure. After Families, it goes into 35th Floor. And that's exactly what Quipto was talking about on Going Crazy, you know, digging through the crates and warring with the executives. As the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and we're not seeing anybody trying to fucking fill the gap. We're not seeing any strategy, nothing out there to try to bridge the gap, man. That's what the 35th Floor is talking about, you know. Beats by Mick Stravic, who does an incredible job on that one. After that, it goes into Bring It Right Back. Now, there are, you know, outside of the four elements of hip hop, right? Outside of the four elements of hip hop, there are like two primary components of real original hip hop. Those two primary components are battle rap, right? The competitive nature of hip hop, and also having fun, right? And I like how White Mike brings it up on one song. He's like, y'all, you know, ain't having fun. Something like that. But this song is all about battle rap. And as an MC, as somebody who understands the culture and wants to sharpen their writing skills, you have to understand the competitive nature of hip hop. And Bring It Right Back is a display of their ability to be competitive and write battle raps. And everybody rips it. And it features Amani Jade, which is White Mike's daughter. I love how she says, take a page from his book. Like, if my son ever decides to rap or do music, you know, I'd hope that he takes a page out of my book. That is the ultimate, like, man, dude, I just love that. And Amani rips it. So what a great song to introduce her. She might have other songs that I haven't heard, but for me, it's like an introduction to Amani, and she really rips it. And she's super fortunate to have such talented artists in her family that can, help develop her as an artist. And she did a great job on Bring It Right Back. After that, it goes into Till It's Over, which is a monster of a song. The beat is just super incredible. AG makes the beat. Mike Marshall is on the chorus and super rips it. This song is like a monster of a song. And it ends with just a powerful, just driven, edgy verse by Monk HTS. Like, he really just shines on this song. And I can see why they gave him so much space for his verse at the end, and even just kind of close out the song with his verse. Like, he really just makes a statement and rips it. After Till It's Over, it goes into Communicate. This song is basically just a prayer, and it has their brother Quan's on the, they're cutting up samples from Quan's vocals on Communicate. Now, again, how do you balance out a positive message but still make it digestible, right? How do you stay true to who you are and get this message across? And that's what I'm talking about with this album. For me, it really truly is a masterpiece, because this is what the world needs to hear. This is the type of music that I want to make. And this is the type of music that is inspiring the music that I'm making now in this phase of my life, right? This is the type of music I want to make. These dudes have a song about a prayer. Who does that, right? Who's man enough to be vulnerable and be humble, right? And have a song about, because it's really not about you. It's not about me. It's about these shorties. It's about our children, it's about raising them right. Okay. Now that's the message that people need to hear. And this song is kind of, it looks like it's produced by, it features Oteo. Listen to Oteo's run when he says, around the line where he says, it really don't matter who the president is. Listen to that run he goes into after that. I mean, it's sick. The beats by Jay Def, and I think there's some contributions by AJ Legaspi and Osiris as well. Then it concludes with Forever After All, which bookends the album with a really heartfelt, positive sentiment / chant from Equipto. And and it's produced by DJ Paz and A Weezy. For me, if I were to pick a beat that I would want to rap on, this would be the beat. Like, I love this beat. It's got these soaring synths. The sample is just straight, the whole feel of it is just straight up like San Francisco. It's straight positive too. And it's got an edge, as well. The beat is like, that's like a beat I would love to rap on. And so that concludes the album review. This is a straight up classic. If you buy the CD, stream it on, YouTube, iTunes, not Spotify. Fuck Spotify. But this album is a straight up masterpiece. It's a classic. You need to hear it. And that concludes the album review. Check it out.